Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with the Side Hustle Summit, and I have with us today one of our key feature speakers. His name is David Porter. David is going to share with us some information about his journey doing mobile detailing, which is completely different than some of one of the other speakers are talking about, which I love offline side hustles. So, David, welcome to the Side Hustle Summit.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show the slide so we can get straight into your topic. How about that?
All right.
Okay. So sometimes technology is a little slow. All right. So we're going to be talking about mobile detailing. So, David, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I was a former Navy military police, and it was good. I was grateful to be able to serve my country and to see the world, and so that was a good experience for me. And I'm also I have a lovely wife, happily married with, and I have a couple of four-legged children, and that bless me and love me unconditionally. But and I love the Lord, and so I'm always trying to follow in His footsteps and do what He asked me to do. And so, uh, and as far as business is concerned, I've tried a lot of stuff, and some things have worked out better than others, but I'm just a entrepreneur by heart.
All
So
right. Okay. Well, I love the fact that you're a man of God, former
yeah.
military. So thank you for your service. So let's get into a little bit of this. So, talk about some of these side hustles, these businesses that you tried.
Well, um, when I've tried selling on eBay a little bit, that was a very interesting journey, and it started out pretty well, and I had a couple of setbacks in that, and so that that didn't work out too well for me. But I was glad to get the experience, and I know that right there, it there's a lot of people that are doing well, but for me, it was just a little bit more than what I was able to, to mess with. So, but
Why didn't it work out for you? What happened?
oh well, I got scammed a couple of times, and it kind of burned me a little bit. But I know you can get that in anything, but it was. I had someone who I paid for something, and when they delivered, I got a big. I had some cans of dog food delivered to me when I ordered something specifically. So I was just like, all right, I can't do this. So, and eBay at that time wasn't. They didn't seem to believe my story at the time, so I I just left it alone. So,
So, you
but
were drop shipping.
yes, I did a little drop shipping. That's
Oh,
correct.
somebody delivered some fake stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that was quite interesting. But I do know that it does work. I just did never go back into that. And another thing I did was Amazon, as far as delivering. Uh, they when they first came on the scene, they had the ability to allow people such as myself to be able to go deliver for them and pick up groceries and different things that people order off of Amazon. And I did that, and that was real interesting because I like the ability to be able to work for myself and to get paid after I did a service. Um, and I've also tried Uber and Lyft, which was also at the same time, roughly about the same time. I'd go from Uber and Lyft, and then I'd check my app for Amazon and see if there was any deliveries, and then I would check out of Uber or Lyft and go do the Amazon delivery, and then get back on. So I was always just hustling, trying to get different, trying to keep money in my pocket. So, but
Did you like those? Did you like doing the Uber and the Lyft and the Amazon delivery?
I did. It was good. It was being able to set your own hours and to get paid daily. Um, because I was always looking for different things to try to put money in my pocket. And I like the idea of if something didn't work out too well, I'd be able to easily be able to go make some money. It was a little rough on the cars and everything, keeping all the tires on and keeping gas in, because it can be a little rough on the car. But I mean, the whole concept of daily making money definitely appealed to me. So it was good. It was good.
Okay. Well, what was some of the other things that you tried?
Well, I've dabbled in a little uh, multi-level marketing, and one of the oldest ones that was, that I've done was Amway. Trying to sign up my friends and family and and to buy for themselves and stuff. And I like the concept, but it was a rough way to go on that, because some people just didn't see what I saw. And so I've also did prepaid legal and Melaleuca, which they're all good companies and everything. It's just um, you gotta be able to communicate a little bit to get people to see what you see. But I'm currently doing a little bit of currency trading,
Oh,
which I kind of like that right now. And but yeah, these are some of the things that I've tried, and yeah, some things are better than others, but it's uh it's been good.
all
Good
right.
journey.
Do you feel like you're like a person that hops from opportunity to opportunity, or do you really try to make it work long term? You stick it out for a few months because there's some people, they are like squirrel and they try one thing and then they go to the next thing, squirrel, and they go to the next thing, and so they really don't give anything an opportunity to really kind of work for them. Do you feel like you're not that person, or you are that person where um you try things but you actually give it enough time to actually see if you can yield a result?
I think that I'm a little bit of both. I think there's some things that I've tried and maybe didn't even give it 100%. eBay may have been one of those things, that I really didn't give it enough time. But as I've gotten older, I realized that if anything is going to work, like you said, you got to give it ample time, because it's not going to, it's not a microwave instant grits type thing. Sometimes things take a little bit of time, and you got to go through a little bit in order to um, see the fruits of your labor and everything. And so that was something that I've definitely had to come to realize. You know,
Okay. I'm going to steal that microwave instant grits. I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that. There's a lot of people that think it's really microwave instant grits. Like, ooh, I'm going to be rich tomorrow.
yeah,
Okay.
doesn't
All right.
work that way.
So let's talk about this mobile detailing work that you did. So, how did you come up with the idea?
Well, I was introduced to a company that they had basically it was a waterless solution that allowed you to um, detail a car without the use of any water. And I didn't believe it until I saw it. And once I saw it, and the effects of how it worked on all different types of car, even cars that had a lot of what do you call it? That faded. It was real faded. It would even help bring the shine back, and I was just really sold on it. And so I we ended up trying it out on my car. My car was kind of beat up and everything, and it definitely it it looked like someone had really detailed it really nicely. And so I ended up coming to work with this guy, and we went around and started um, spreading the word about this product, and that's how I got started. And the the gentleman, he had came from a different I think it was a different city or whatnot, and came to where I was at, and we just hit it off. So uh,
Okay. And so it was the idea, somebody approached you about this, hey, let me shine your car. And you were like, nah, you're gonna do it without water. And you was like, okay, all
yeah,
right,
I
let me
was
just
kind
see if
of
this thing really works. Okay.
yeah, yeah, and
All right.
yeah, it was pretty eye opening, because I didn't think it could be done. but
Okay.
there's definitely products out there that can give your car a nice shine without the use of water. Yeah, so
So, besides this product, what did you need to be able to sort of get started?
oh well, with this, we needed to have those pop-up tents that
Mm.
you can actually get you a pop-up tent, and we had to be able to cool down the car before we could apply this product to it. And so we also needed lots of towels. It is a lot of towels because you have the towels that you use to apply the product, and then another set of towels to buff it out. And then we also had the other stuff, for the shine the wheels or to clean the wheels and to shine them. Also to be able to um, clean the inside. We had a vacuum cleaner. We had the kind that went through the basically the cigarette lighter, cigarette lighter, and it'll allow you to be able to get in there and your toothbrushes, your paintbrushes to be able to lift all the dirt and different out of the nooks and crannies and stuff. So just the typical mobile detailing, equipment that you would need. And so,
Okay. So, the question I have is, how did you go from this, whatever the solution was, these, and to actually like turning it into a full-fledged business? Like, was the person just trying to sell you the solution, and then you were like, oh, I like this solution, and then somebody said, hey, we got to go do other people's cars and get paid to do it? Like, how did you make that jump from somebody introducing you to this product to now you are now starting a business to do this?
okay, that's a good question. Once I saw it, I saw an opportunity
Hmm.
to be able to go to other people and do their cars, and so it went from trying to sell the bottles to actually just having enough supply on hand to be able to detail other people's cars. And so we went to um, little mom and pop businesses like nail salons, barber shops, flower shops, just people that will usually those type of storefronts, they are working a long time, and they anytime that you can get back for them by them not having to do something that they would have to do on their own, you can do it while they're working. That saves them time and money. And so
Yeah.
because money time is money, and so we would go there, and while they were doing their business, we're making their cars look nice, so when they come out, that's one less thing they had to worry about. And so that's how we started out, with just the little mom and pops and stuff. And then eventually went to I got wind of a gentleman who he went to a bank. I don't know how he got into the bank, but the bank was like a four-story bank, and
Four-story
he
building?
oh, excuse me, yeah, four-story building, sorry.
That's okay.
Four-story building. And he had a little pegboard, and he had some kind of deal with that bank to be able to do um, their cars. He had two spots, and whoever wanted their cars detailed, they would actually go to those spots, and he'd take their keys and detail their cars and put them back in another spot. And then when the people got off from work, they'd go over there and say, "Where's my car?" He'd tell them what level it was at, and money was exchanged, and they they be able to continue making their money at doing their work at the bank, but also have their car detailed at the same time. And so, and that intrigued me to see someone that was basically, like I said, they're saving people um, time, or saving them, because time is money, and
Mhm.
so I like that. And so I kind of ventured off to try to do that myself, and was able to do that with the company
Okay.
later on. So.
So you didn't start out that way. You stuck with the mom and pops initially, and then you advanced to getting. So let's talk about that. Just continue
Okay.
that conversation.
Well, I ended up. I went to the airport of the the city I was in, and they had this company that it's similar to FedEx and and UPS, but it's much smaller. They were a delivery service, and I ended up detailing their fleet vehicles.
Oh,
I detailed their fleet vehicles, but I also acquired the contract to be able to put on their logos. You know, like all those UPS and FedEx, whenever they have those trucks, they're plain. You have to be able to put the graphics on,
yeah, put
and
the
so I ended
decal. And you put the
yes,
decals on. Okay.
and so I did this with this company. Any new trucks came in, I would outfit the I would outfit them, and then also clean their existing ones. And so that ended up being a pretty lucrative because I ended up doing it for actually two cities within that state, and so it ended up being pretty good. And so it was it was a good little side hustle there. So
Okay. And then did you go get any bigger than that, or how did you expand to any of these office buildings, or did it just, you stuck with that and then anything else?
well, eventually, after I think it was about 2 years, I ended up. I didn't be able to expand past that. I ended up getting outbidded
Mm.
on that particular thing, but it let me know that it was something that can be done and everything. So, but I actually got outbidded by someone. So,
Mhm.
um, but
Okay. All right. So did you do any corporate, like I said, the 4-story bank building? Like, did you do any of those, or no? You just, those were the two, that those were the mom and pops, and then the fleet, and those were the main ones.
well, I went to a company called Johnson and Johnson, and I sent a I did a proposal with them, and that it didn't. I thought the proposal was really nice, but and they liked it, but it ended up going up the chain of command, and the lawyers were the one that put the death nail in the whole thing.
Coffin. They put
Because
the nail in the coffin.
yeah,
Okay.
basically what I had presented to them and they liked it. I presented as a employee benefit for them, in which the employee didn't have anything to lose for it. Basically, it was going to be employee of the month benefit because most companies have employees of the month, and so but they are trying to watch their pennies and everything. And so if you can offer something that doesn't cost the company money and it doesn't cost the employee money, that was something that they really liked. And so what I did was I offered my detailing services for their employee of the month. So at that time, I was estimating probably about 10 to 15 free details that I was going to be giving to them in exchange to be able to do detailing on their property with their existing employees. And they
Mm.
would circulate my information and my services throughout the whole building, and whoever would like to have that, they would just set it up and call me, and I would come out there and do their cars and everything. So like I said, the they really liked the concept and the idea, but the place, Johnson and Johnson owned the building, but they did not own the land, and the people that owned the land, my services was one of the things they said that cannot operate on their land. And so
Mm.
that's how it. And so I did all I could at the time to try to um, find a place nearby to
Mhm.
where they could commute, and I would bring the cars back and forth. But it, I was unsuccessful in that at that time. So
Oh my gosh. But here's the deal. I love the idea because, like, I just recently went to go get a chest x-ray and a CAT scan or something else, ultrasound. That's the one. And I remember seeing a mobile detailing car in the parking lot parked up under one of those, the over, what do you call it, parking spots where they have the over thing. Anyway, I don't know
yeah,
the name of it is, but anyway, and I saw the person like cleaning the car, and that is a great employee benefit and a great employee perk if
Yes.
if they'll allow it. And so there's plenty of office buildings where it's not just one tenant, there's multiple tenants, and you can offer it maybe to the tenants, the people who maintain the building, and they could offer it to all of their tenants to
Yes.
be able to
Yes.
do it. So I think that is a great idea. As a matter of fact, we have a friend who is currently the property manager of like 8 buildings near downtown Dallas, not downtown, near the Mixmaster. And I'm going to talk to her about that because that would be a great benefit to offer to all the employees. And she has this space in order for us to be able to do the card, not the employees, but just all of their tenants, because they have so many tenants in an 8 building. Like, that's a lot of buildings.
Yeah.
So I love it. And it's just a matter. I mean, the only thing you have to think about is all the physical work that's involved with cleaning the car. But outside of
Yeah.
that, uh,
Yeah. But it's good money because you get paid that day once the service is done. Um, you get paid that day, and so it's a win-win situation. So yeah, I
okay,
encourage you to look into that. I think
I think it'll be worth something.
yeah.
So how did you advertise at any time, or was it just a matter at that point you just word of mouth, or did you advertise?
At first, I started with flyers and trying to get into small publications and whatnot, but it was mostly going from um, location to location, let them know about our services. And I tried to stay strategic because I didn't want to use too much gas,
Hmm.
And then as things expanded, I worked on other areas of town and everything. But yeah, flowers the way that I went.
At the time.
Um, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then the work. So the ones that you mainly started off with, those are the ones that you pretty much stuck with. You worked on that one, but it didn't work out. So the next thing is, how did you get paid? Is it all
Well,
cash transactions or?
it's pretty much cash. It was pretty much cash, but today now you've got um, all different kind of methods where people can be able to just use their card and whatnot and stuff. So yeah, but it was pretty much a cash business. They knew up front how much it was, and if they wanted any additional services, we would add that on as well and stuff. So, but um, uh, yeah, it was pretty much cash.
Okay. So real time at the end of the day, you knew how much money you had in your pocket.
Yes,
Love
yeah,
that.
that,
Love that.
yeah.
Okay. So you did waterless detailing. Let's talk a little bit about water detailing versus waterless. So if someone was like going to try and take on water detailing, what do you know about what they might do a little differently than what you did?
Water. I think that technology now. I think with water, you actually could do a little bit more than with the waterless. I think I would use if I was to do it differently, I'd probably do water and have the waterless as a backup. But outside of getting the tank and getting the first setup and everything, I because I think with the water you can actually venture into other things as well, pressure washing, all kind of different things, and so. Um, it wouldn't just like keep you pigeonholed. You would have different ways of doing different things. So I think I would look more into doing water, and then have the waterless uh, as a backup.
Okay.
So
All right. So what's the good and the bad of this mobile detailing that we all need to know?
well, the good thing is that it's once you get your clientele built up and everything, it's reoccurring because usually those customers, once you do a good job for them, they're going to call you back, and they're also going to refer you to other people and everything. You can have some referral incentive programs for them where you get so much off for anybody that you refer and whatnot, and so you actually can grow pretty quickly on that in that regards. Um, the bad is startup. You once you until that it could be pretty thin. Once you are first starting up, you got to give yourself time to be able to work through that growth period to where you have reoccurring customers and everything. um, and sometimes that could take you know it could take few weeks, maybe a month, in order to get that clientele built up and whatnot. So um, I think the financial investment, it's pretty inexpensive. I mean, a couple $100, and you could be in business, and you know make make a good little uh, side little hustle for you. And then as you get more customers and whatnot, you can um, invest in more stuff. But
Or invest in a helper to work
a
with you if
helper,
you get a bunch of cars, if you get a bunch of
yeah.
cars, or you get a
I,
big building, 8 buildings, 8 buildings. Anyway, go
big,
ahead.
big I think you're definitely going to need that portable tent, though. Yeah, because that's going to help cool the car down in order for you to be able to touch. Like it's you need that.
Or a
So
building with a parking garage.
yes, yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
So, what
And
kind of time would a person need to actually be able to do this? Like, are they going to spend 2 hours a day, 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 9 hours a day? Like, how much time in a day do you think someone's going to spend doing mobile detailing?
detailing itself, or the whole searching and
I
looking
mean, let's
for.
just talk about it all. So, when you're first starting, how much time are you spending on just trying to get gigs? And then once you get enough gigs and you had recurring for a while. How much time did you spend in a day doing the work? So, let's talk about both.
Okay, for me, it took me about. I'd say it took me about a couple of weeks in order to get things going as far as clientele that I was doing reoccurring, getting people to be able to refer people, but to actually do the work, I would say I can do a mid-sized car, probably 45 minutes inside and out. And it didn't take long at all, and so you're making that's $45. Well, depending on the cost that you charge. I think we were charging like for a small car, $35 to $40 for a compact car, and then for a mid-size, it was more like 55, 60, and for a SUV, we're looking at about 75. And so those you probably about an hour and a half to do like a full size SUV or something like that, and so. Um, but an hour and a half would definitely be kind of stretching it. Once your muscles get used to the the work, because it is it'll definitely keep you in shape. So, but yeah, you can knock a car out really really quick, and so
So it's
and also
basically
depend.
for the young, and I would literally have to take up Pilates and yoga, maybe
Uh,
drop a good 100 pounds before I
I
consider
had
jumping in there to do some cars.
you might surprise yourself. You might surprise yourself.
Oh no, stretching
Yeah.
is not my thing right now.
Uh,
My hip would be like, "What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do?" Anyway, go ahead.
No, but I think that yeah, once your body get used to it, you could probably bust out even an SUV maybe an hour, and also if you have helpers, the more people that are helping you, the quicker it goes. And
All
so if
right.
a person has some teenage kids or something, and they're doing it with them, one person can tackle the inside, the other person can tackle the outside, and so.
I mean, I'm just thinking about this $75 an hour. What is that math? Hold on, I'm going to go check and see. $75 an hour. If you worked for 8 hours, let's just see what that income potential is. Just a minute. Uno momento, por favor. Si, senor. I got to find the calculator on this phone, me and this phone. So I feel like I know that's over 100 grand, but hold on. $75 an hour, and you worked 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Mm,
That's good money.
that is good money. That's $156,000 a year mobile detailing for a singular person. Now, if you had a team, you could do more cars. You could probably get more. So the max, based on whatever's going on with your body, maybe you do 8 cars in a day. If you can't do 8 cars in a day, even if you did six, or even if you did half of that for the 156,000, like that is not bad at all. Got the phone, guys. So anyway, so that's $78,000. Then you got to pay taxes and expenses. So, he said he started off with around, if you start off a couple $100 to start, then again, of course, you got to replenish supplies. He had more towels because of the fact he was doing waterless, but you would have to do water, and so there's some things you got to do. So if you decide you're going to do water, maybe instead of spending a couple $100, you might spend $500 to get started, or 600. But then again, buying stuff in bulk, wholesale, you probably could get your supplies that way and pay a lot less.
Yeah,
So, I would
for
be
sure.
okay with, I clean 8 cars or 8 vehicles in a day at $75. And of the eight, two of them or one of them I have to spend in supplies. $75 a day in supplies, hypothetically. That's just a
Yeah,
hypothetical number. So then that way you're really getting paid off of 7 cars instead of eight. But yeah, deducting expenses, guys, for those who haven't are not following along there. So I think that's not bad. That's not a bad business model. Even if I had to deduct expenses off of 2 cars, I still think that would be a good model.
yeah, you
So
still being a positive.
you still be in a positive, yeah.
Yeah.
So mobile detailing today, what would you do differently?
Um, I would have to say I wouldn't do much differently. I mean, I think there's with you have social media that can also help you get the word out a little bit better than, and so you probably get um, a lot of people from there. Um, but there's not much I would probably do differently. Um, and but I know the model definitely would work.
Okay. And newbies, what would you suggest to them if they wanted to get started? What are some of the things that they need to think about? Maybe just give them like 5 things to consider or do in order to get started. What are those 5 things that they should do or consider?
Uh, Find out how much you're wanting to make a day, because you want to have a goal in which you would like to try to attain each day. Um, with this, keep in mind that it's going to be seasonal depending on where you're going to be at. It's not something you can do year round, depending if you have a place that's pretty cold. It's more of a springtime, summer type business. Keep that in mind. Um, Also, how much um, as far as your scalability, what are you going to do this all on your own? Because it's much like cutting grass. I mean, you can do it yourself, and then the more people that you have, the more yards you can cut. Same thing with detailing. The more people that you have, and what you're willing to pay them in order um, to scale your business. Um, let's see. Ah, I'm drawing a blank on it, 4 and 5, but
Well, I think the first thing they got to do is they got to make sure they have the money for the investment, and they also have to make sure that they have the time for the commitment. Like, okay, if you're
yeah,
going to go
yeah,
in, you got to definitely have a couple hundred, if not, anywhere. I would say if I were starting with some numbers, I like $200 to $1,000, $200 to $1,000. Make sure you have that, and you have the time to go out there and drum up the business. If you can drum up the business, I would definitely set up your model of get your Facebook fan page and your Instagram and Twitter and all that other stuff, and or threads or whatever, TikTok, and make sure you have all of the social media for whatever the name of your business is going to be. Probably establish yourself as an LLC. That's just my suggestion. I don't know if you did. I didn't ask that
no, I
question.
didn't. Yeah, I
All
didn't.
right.
So,
So,
yeah,
I think that
yeah,
helps if you establish yourself as an LLC, you go out and you have these conversations with the HR departments. I still think that that is a viable solution.
mm,
Or talk to the property managers of big, giant buildings that have multiple tenants. Then I think that gives you an opportunity. And you could probably even talk to like apartment complexes. Like apartment complexes, sometimes they high end apartment complexes or condominiums, they want to offer services to those customers as well, or their tenants as well. So I
yeah,
wouldn't overlook anybody as a potential customer. So that way you can build your clientele, build your base, maybe decide I'm going to be at these locations on Mondays and Tuesdays, these on Wednesdays and Thursdays, or whatever the case may be. But you definitely need to start the process. You need to have some dedicated time. And I think if you're going to start off doing this part time, like, at least 4 hours a day or two to at least get your client list built. And then from there, you're going to have to find more time to be able to do this. So I think you still do it as a side gig, but if you're going to try and do it, most of the time people want to do it in the daytime, maybe not at night. So maybe work second or third shift somewhere, and then you can do this
Yeah.
during the day. That
Yeah.
might be it. Work second shift, and then that way you could do this in the day, in the mornings, and do this so that way you can have your little side hustle going. Then scale it. And once you scale it, then you can quit. What do you think?
I think that sounds really good. Also, maybe even on the weekend, starting with the weekends, building up a clientele with, because I've seen some people that have started with the weekends and also the evenings until they were able to go full
Daytime.
time. So yeah.
Daytime. Yeah. Well, I am glad that we had the opportunity to talk about this. I think mobile detailing is a viable uh, opportunity for many different people. So I'm glad we had a chance to talk. I am so glad. So, all of you that are watching the Side Hustle Summit, again, this is David Porter. He's talking about mobile detailing.
Mhm.
If you are interested in getting a little bit more information about mobile detailing or just talking to him, maybe chatting it up, you're more than welcome to comment below this video, or you can contact support at sidehustlesummit.net, and we are happy to connect you with David. Or you can look at his page somewhere on here. It's his contact information up above or down below. Last but not least, I do want to encourage you to go ahead and upgrade to the All Access Pass. You can go back and listen to this session over and over again, get the opportunity to get some additional golden nuggets that maybe kind of flew over your head. Sometimes that happens when we watch multiple sessions. So grab the All Access Pass. That way you can gain access to David's amazing bonus. So with that, I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to chat, David. Thank you for your
Thank you.
time today. This has been another session of the Side Hustle Summit. We are going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.